Na Atabia, one of the kings of Mamprugu, has a wise saying, and it goes this way: it is better that a man should throw a spear at his fellow than make false accusations against him behind his back. We pride ourselves with the truth. We don't make false accusations, ladies and gentlemen. Uh, let me. I think the Mamprugu Youth Group may have to forgive me. I just want to make one reference from their press conference and then leave it like that, so that we'll go to discuss the terrorist group we have in Bawku. Not that the Mamprugu Youth Group press conference is not relevant. It's very, very relevant, but because of time, I know we've almost done 2 hours now. And I want to plead with the Mamprusi Youth Group to forgive me for not going into details their press conference. But I will take one important thing, and the issue of the Kosau Traditional Council claiming that the Mamprusis are common settlers. In the Mamprugu Group press conference, this is what they said. Let me refer to that. It said, also, the Kusasis made a press conference on 27th November 2001 at the Binduri District Assembly titled Press Statement by Members of the Kosau Traditional Council on the Current Disturbances in the Bawku Traditional Area. The Binduri chief alleged that the Mamprusis are common settlers with their traditional status equal to Moshis, Busangas, and Dagombes, even though some Mamprusi had the opportunities to rule, including the said Alhaji Ibrahim Sangwego through our colonial masters. He was skinned as a divisional chief on 24th April 1984, and the Zugran was skinned and gazetted as a permanent chief of Bawku on 24th April 1984. It is, therefore, a legally historical fact that Alhaji Adam Zambeo died as a Muslim and his funeral was performed accordingly. He, however, could not back his statement with any facts. So, as I indicated earlier on, it's the same thing that the Mamprugu Youth Group are saying on the issue of Mamprusis being common settlers. So, what I was reading to you, they quoted what the elders said in their press conference. And then the group concluded by saying that, by emphasizing, let me put it that way, by emphasizing what I've already stated, that the traditional council couldn't provide evidence to back their statement that the Mamprusis are common settlers. Now, in response to that, the Mamprugu Youth Group provided evidence, their side of the evidence, let me put it that way. I don't know whatever evidence the Kusasis may also bring tomorrow. Probably they are planning to issue a press conference tomorrow. I don't know. Maybe in response to the press conference of the regent of the Bandana, the Kusasis, the traditional council may do that. So this is what the Mamprugu Youth Group said. He said, we refer to the Chieftaincy Tribunal of the National House of Chiefs Appeal Court, Kumasi, held on Friday, 20th May 1983, before Nananom Suite number NHC 2/UR/80, Abogrago Azoka ex Bawku Naba petitioners versus Nayiri of Mamprugu, Adam Badim Suguru respondent. So you see, I told you that when they said Rollins invited the paramount chief of Nalirgu, is a lie. It wasn't a paramount chief. It was the Nayiri, the king of Mamprugu. The name they provided, Badim Suguru wasn't a paramount chief of Nalirgu. He was the king of Nalirgu, the king of Mamprugu. The Nayiri, he was the king of Mamprugu. So this goes to support this is authentic evidence. They are citing a court case to prove that. And in this court case, it was between Abogrago Azoka, ex-Bawku Naba. I think is the current chief's father, the first Kusasi chief of Bawku. So they went on to mention the name, members of the the court, but let me leave that aside and let's go to the ruling. So he said the court ruled by striking off the case for lack of jurisdiction by the tribunal. The court also stated that Abogrago Azoko the first was layman and chief, was layman, an ordinary individual or a commoner. So this one is authentic. This is captured in a court ruling. It is not like any Mamprusi opening his or her mouth saying that Abogrago Azoka the first is a layman or an ordinary individual or a commoner. That is what the court said in 1983. And that is what the Mamprugu Youth Group 1, the Kosao Traditional Council, to know. So, ladies and gentlemen, we'll leave it that way. We'll leave it that day. And for the avoidance of doubt, this is the chief we are talking about, the late chief we are talking about, Na Adam Zangbeo, Alhaji Adam Zangbeo. His chieftaincy name is Tampuri, like rubbish dump. He believed that as a leader, he is like a rubbish dump where everybody comes to throw his or her rubbish, and he has the heart to accommodate every nonsense, anything. That is the reason behind his chieftaincy name, Tampuri. So this is the late Na Tampuri with a former head of state, a champion. It was after a champion that I believe it was after a champion regime, the Rawlings regime came, something like that. And then, anyway, things turn around against the Mamprusis. So, ladies and gentlemen, now let's talk about the terrorists. I think we should talk about the terrorists because the Kosao Traditional Council talked about it. They cautioned the government that the Mamprusis are creating volatile situations that could invite terrorists to enter into Ghana. Put aside the allegations they made against the Mamprusis. Don't take them serious. Put that one aside. And let's concentrate on the possibility of terrorists coming through Burkina Faso into Ghana. Yes, there is that possibility. Look at the history of Bawku, which is known for conflict, right? But I want to tell you that as at now, since 2009, there is a terrorist group in Bawku. There is a terrorist group in Bawku operating. And this terrorist group is responsible for disturbances, for the volatile situation, for the tension Bawku continue to experience since 2009. And this terrorist group somehow had the backing of the interior minister then, Cletus Avoka. When I say the backing, Cletus Avoka as interior minister knew about it, about the group, knew which ethnic group constitute that group, but defended the existence, denied the existence of such a group in Bawku. And the issue was brought to the floor of parliament. I spoke about it in my last program. That is the terrorist group that we are talking about. I'm talking about. That is the terrorist group that we have in Bawku today. That is the terrorist group that are creating problems in Bawku. The criminals. Ladies and gentlemen, let me provide you the evidence. But before that, let me read to you what I read on this issue some time ago, where that was on September 16, 2009. GhanaMad.com in a news article titled "Reassign Avoka for Peace in Bawku." And it says, according to the ministry spokesperson on Defense and Interior, both Honorable Avoka and a senior police officer reported claim that the pictures of guerrilla training camps published by newspapers were 1 year old does not exonerate the police from not taking the appropriate action against the culprit. Honorable Bawku, however, congratulated the police for arresting one of the guerrilla trainees. I mean, terrorists. They are not guerrilla, they are terrorists. They are terrorists. Sule Isifu, son of Alhaji Isifu Asana, the ruling National Democratic Congress, Bawku NDC, Bawku Central Constituency Chairman. Once again, we urge the police not to allow their professional policing to succumb to the third-party interference. Honorable Bawku recommended, adding the minority group in Parliament irrevocably and unequivocally called upon the Ministry of Interior and the National Security Secretariat to immediately disband the band of guerrilla trainers and trainees, seize or confiscate the deadly arms and ammunition being illegally used by them. Ladies and gentlemen, if there was a camp, a group of people undergoing guerrilla training in Bawku, why don't you think they are terrorists? And this group of people are Kusasis and not Mamprusis. Now, if you look at this photo, this is what I'm talking about. You see a couple of them sitting down, watching a few of them, one or two here in this photo, aiming to shoot as part of their training. And you tell me that you can use this photo to do investigation, security agency, national security, interior, defense. That is the reality on the ground. So when the Kusauk Traditional Council is questioning the government about the possibility of terrorist group entering Bawku because of, as they allege, the volatile situation the Mamprusis are creating, they have forgotten that there is already a terrorist group existing in Kusauk. And members of that terrorist group are Kusasis. And these are the pictures of some of them. This is also another picture aiming to shoot. I think one of them is holding an AK-47, if I'm right, and another one probably is a G3. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is the reality. This is the group I describe as a known terrorist group. These are known group, but we are pretending we don't know them. We are pretending we don't know them. Up to 2009. I mean, since 2009 up to date, one person has been arrested. Now it is a dead case. Where are the other people? They still live with us in Bawku. As and when they want, they come to create troubles and then turn around and accuse the Mamprusis. The Mamprusis, if you know the map of Bawku, the Mamprusis has no any place to go to do guerrilla training. They have no any place to go. Because in the township, there is no any place that you can do that kind of training. But outside the Bawku township, vast area of land where Kusasis are predominant, You can do that. Can you imagine Mamprusis going to Kusasi dominated areas doing this kind of training? Ladies and gentlemen, can you imagine that? It's not possible. The security agencies know that, but they don't want the truth. They don't want the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, so that is the reality on the ground.